6. So to wrap this up, in conclusion, a ConOps is a user-oriented document that contains the needs and priorities of the transit agency's frontline personnel. I hope that I've convinced you why you need to understand the end user's priorities. And the ConOps is dedicated to that user. It is not an engineering document. It is a document written in a narrative style with many illustrations, written for the lay person that anyone can pick it up and read it and understand what type of a system that the transit agency would need. It can be used as part of a business case. It is not a detailed technical specification. It feeds a technical specification. It does not contain detailed requirements. If you notice, I've not talked about core CBTC functionality, things like train tracking or positioning or switch control or routing. These are topics that are dealt with in the technical spec by the supplier, and from the end user's perspective, they expect that to be working when it's finally delivered. To them, it's transparent. It's all working in the background. What they're concerned with are the daily issues to keep the trains running and keep the riders moving from one place to the other. So we're focusing on those topics to make sure that the CBTC system can address those needs. So core functionality is not discussed in this document. That is dealt with by the engineers in the technical specifications when that technical spec is written. The ConOps is a working group, is an interdisciplinary team of frontline personnel that are taken from across the transit agency's organization to get input from various perspectives to make sure that everyone's views are addressed by the system. A properly written ConOps will take several months, minimum several weeks, because this is not written by one person or one group. It is written by the organization. And if it's written, excuse me, if it's written properly, you may have subcommittees that have to explore certain topics further. It may require 2 or 3 specialized people to expand on certain topics further. So a proper ConOps will take time. It's not a quick exercise. So next steps. As I mentioned to you earlier, I've created a ConOps template based on the 2 standards that I mentioned. It's a generic template for any transit agency. And it can be tailored for any agency out there. If you're interested in getting a copy of that template, just send me an email at the email that I've listed before, and I would be happy to send you a copy. And if you do take the template and you fill it out, or you create your own concept operations document, you can request me to have a review of that ConOps. I'd be more than happy to have a look at it, give you my thoughts, my ideas, things to add, things to avoid, and you can send me a request to the email that I've listed below. So that is the end of my webinar on the 6 steps to creating a concept operation document. It's the steps that I created based on my experience and based on looking at the standard on what I see are some of the high-level topics that need to be dealt with. And if you do follow these steps, I do believe you have a very good grasp of the operating environment that your transit agency is working within.